I'm Gavin.
And I'm August.
And are you ready for Big Chinggis?
It is said that if you look close enough at this image, you can see Chinggis Khan looking back at you. There he is.
Not to be confused with the smartest conqueror. Not to be confused with the smartest conqueror, Genius Khan.
Or the leader of the mushroom army, Fungus Khan.
Or the largest conqueror, Humongous Khan.
Or the most suspicious conqueror, Among Us Khan.
Or the beefiest conqueror, Angus Khan.
Genghis Khan walks into a bar. He orders everything on the menu and conquers the kitchen.
What did Genghis Khan put on his sandwiches? Condiments.
Okay, now that we're done with the jokes, let's get into the actual facts. Big Chinggis was born at a young age, and for the first year of his life, he couldn't even walk.
He would constantly cry as a young baby. He hit puberty around the age of 14 and a half, fairly late.
He was born May 31st, 1162, and was unable to speak for a period of time. Before the age of 10, he was able to speak in complete sentences, but in Mongolian, of course, not English.
He was born with blood in his hands, as most of us are, although his was special because it was outside of the vein. He was holding a blood clot that was said to be a good omen.
His father died, as most people from the 12th century have, but his father was special because rival Tatars killed him when Big Chinggis was only 9.
He and his mother were later banished from their tribe, leaving them to care for themselves. He may have killed his older brother for food.
He was abducted as a teenager and forced into slavery by another tribe. After a few years, he escaped.
By 1206, Big Chinggis had consolidated the steppe region by defeating all other clan leaders. His name was Chinggis Khan, not Chinggis Cannot.
Okay. To prevent infighting, he banned enslavement, kidnapping of women, and theft of livestock, and he established a writing system and conducted a regular census.
He often employed enemy generals because they were skilled. Big Chinggis cared about having skilled people in charge.
At one point, he offered to trade with the Khwarizmid Empire. They declined, so Big Chinggis invaded and killed millions, as much as 3/4 of the population of Iran. The other quarter have since died.
As many as 40 million people died because of his conquests, and he invaded China, Central Asia, the Middle East, and parts of Europe.
Next, let's talk about the, that's me. Next, let's talk about the Mongol Empire, the largest land empire in history. It had the most people out of any empire if you don't count the empires that had more than 100 million people.
Life in the Mongol Empire had its pros and cons, namely Chinggis Khan. The Mongol Empire was religiously tolerant, and places of worship were tax exempt. This fits with the WAP theme of governance.
Oh, they launched many large-scale invasions and took many lives in the process. Chinggis was known for efficient military organization and brutal conquests. His empire was massive. Massive. It covered 9 million square miles and spread all across Eurasia.
Spread like peanut butter. You guys are supposed to pitch that.
The Mongols had an efficient postal system and mounted couriers. This helped to facilitate the spread of knowledge and technologies from China.
Spread like peanut butter. Come on, catch it.
Peanut butter. Chinggis also helped introduce the precursor to the cello in Europe.
It's like that one dude, he played a video of it. So.
Zhen Ha?
His real name is Temujin, although many refer to him as Genghis or Chinggis because it means supreme or universal ruler, in Mongolian, not in English.
Genghis is the English translation of the Mongolian Chinggis. It's phonetically pronounced Chinggis.
Genghis Khan might be hiding inside your DNA!
It is rumored that Big Chinggis had so many children that 10% of modern Central Asia is related to him, but this is probably false. The genes cited probably just belong to the general Mongolian diaspora, not Big Chinggis in particular.
Big Chinggis had remarkably small units, and by units, let's just say his armies. But not the armies he had 2 of. His military armies were spread into groups of 10, namely 10 people.
Spread like peanut butter. Supposed to catch that.
His armies were also powerful. It is said that he could lift a lot, namely more than 5 pounds.
He also had more armies than average, namely 2. But he also had more leggies, namely
Next
2.
slide.
Well, when Big Chinggis was an adult, he was fully grown.
He reportedly had a strong build, which is stronger than most people's. We could not find a record of his toe count. I've seen this one website that said he has 10, but I should not have been on that source in school, and I'd like to formally apologize to the administrators.
His father arranged a marriage between him and a girl at age 8, and he eventually married that girl when he was 16.
He had 16 to 20 wives throughout his life and had many other affairs, more than the median, namely one.
50% of marriages end in divorce, and the other 50% end in death. So don't get married, kids. And there's nearly a 100% divorce rate for the 16th through 20th marriages.
Yep. He died fighting the Jia kingdom in China, but no one knows exactly where he's buried because he had all the people that buried him killed. After he died, China and later the Soviet Union tried to snuff out his memory. Fun fact, Genghis Khan was actually not deaf. He was deaf, though, because he, died.
I still can't believe he's gone. This year will be our 797th Christmas without Chinggis Khan. We are 99% sure that he is dead, and we've calculated his death to be between the 11th and 19th century, likely in 1227. He might have died from illness or, fell off a horse or something.
Next slide. All right. Important note, Chinggis Khan was a complex historical figure, and his actions had a significant impact on the world. These jokes are not intended to glorify or minimize the historical impact of his actions. These jokes aim to use his well-known historical image for the purpose of humor and wordplay in a lighthearted fashion. Also, it is a continuity that people who had a large impact on the world a long time ago are reduced to a few stories that are often exaggerated, so it's hard to know exactly what happened.
And that's all we have. These are our sources.